were rounding up cattle way out in West Texas when his pony stumbled and fell. He always had been a sure enough hellraiser, but we knew he would not go to hell. I guess he had concussion, his mind started drifting. He must have thought he was dead. He turned to the bunch of us gathered around him, and these were the words that he said: I never knew heaven was so much like Texas. The valleys, the mountains, the prairies, the canyons. And I never knew angels were so much like Texans. But if I'd thought about it, I guess I would have known. He said, I've been a drifter, I've traveled all over these 50 states and lots more. I've been to Australia when I was on leave there, and Asia when I was at war. But I always felt most at home down in Texas. And after the life that I've led, I'm kinda surprised that I made it to heaven, but I'm sure glad that I did. And I never knew heaven was so much like Texas. The valleys, the mountains, the prairies, the canyons. And I never knew angels were so much like Texans. But if I'd thought about it, I guess I would have known. He came out of the coma and he looked around him, saw where he was and he grinned. He said, boys, you ain't never gonna believe this, but you'll never guess where I've been. He said, I've been to heaven, I've talked with the angels. It sure is pretty up there. So I guess I won't mind when the good Lord comes calling, 'cause heaven is just like down here. And I never knew heaven was so much like Texas. The valleys, the mountains, the prairies, the canyons. And I never knew angels were so much like Texans. But if I'd thought about it, I guess I would have known. I never knew heaven was so much like Texas.